Greetings and welcome to the introduction to astronomy. In this week's special topic in astronomy, we are going to talk about Herbig-Haro objects and try to understand a little bit more about what these objects are. So what are Herbig-Haro objects? Well, they are actually a byproduct of star formation. They are not actually stars that are forming, but they are left over from that. And they are material. So they are formed when jets of material are expelled out and strike material around the star. Now we can see them in our first image here. They are the regions up toward the top here and down toward the bottom. You can see the jet coming out. And when it hits material in the interstellar medium, it shocks that and energizes it and causes it to glow. And that is what we mean by a Herbig-Haro object. They are not the star itself, but they are simply other regions around it that are being excited. Now let's look at a diagram as to how this can occur. So here what we see is we have the star forming in toward the center there. And you can see the protostar at the center in the yellow. We have an accretion disk of material around it as material is coming in. And then that is expelled outward. So some material is then expelled outward in the jets. And when those jets strike material around it, it causes it to glow. And that gives us the object that we're looking for. The Herbig-Haro object is then present there. Now, how do we see these? Well, we see them as glowing areas around the stars that are forming. So they are glowing areas, glowing gas in the interstellar medium as these young stars are just starting to form. We observe them generally in visible and infrared light. They are not viewed in things like ultraviolet or higher energies light. And let's look at a couple of more examples of these. So here we see one example where the star itself is actually hidden. It's hidden by a dust disk there at the center. And we can see that right in here. The star itself would be right down here, but we cannot see the star. But we can see various different Herbig-Haro objects as the jets of material are expelled out perpendicular to that disk, and various times in the past that they strike the interstellar medium and cause it to glow. Now we can also look at another more recent image of this. So let's take a quick look at that. As we see here, and we can see another one taken with the James Webb Space Telescope that we can see again looking into a little more detail. James Webb Space Telescope looks in the infrared and allows us to look through more of that dust and get in closer to that protostar there at the center. But we can still see the same detail, and in fact even more fine detail within those jets of material that are being expelled by that star. So what kind of stars form these? That's another common question that we can ask, is to which types of stars will actually form a Herbig-Haro object. And what we found is that the vast majority of them seem to be in binary systems. So maybe there is something about being in a binary system that causes this type of object to form. But again, still the exact processes are still being studied, and we still strive to better understand those. So let's go ahead and finish up here with our summary. And what we've looked at today is that the Herbig-Haro objects are a product of newly forming stars. And what they are is gases in the interstellar medium excited by jets of material from those forming stars. So the stars emit the jets which strike the interstellar medium and cause it to glow. And we're finding that they appear to be more common in binary systems than in single star systems. So that concludes this week's special topic in astronomy on Herbig-Haro objects. We'll be back again next week. So until then, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in class.